What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Jojo Rabbit, movie that I've heard a few people talk about, specifically Doug Benson has talked about it a bunch on Doug Loves Movies, and I've heard other people discuss this movie highly, saying that it was good. So when it was available in the theater out in the Valley, finally one of the theaters had it. I went to go see it and went in not knowing really that much about it. I knew it was following a kid and Hitler is involved somehow. But I go to the movie and it is about a kid. It's about this 10-year-old kid who's in the Hitler Youth Army, and his imaginary friend is Hitler. And that's kind of how it starts off. Kind of like has the feel of Moonrise Kingdom in a way. Probably because it's like kids in uniform, and then also like the sensibility and sense of humor. It's like a I don't know how like a comedy, but with very like hard dramatic moments, kind of. I mean, dark shit happens in this movie. Spoilers. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy. One, to see like like most movies, war movies, don't really depict the proper age of the kids that were like sent to war. And I mean, this takes place, I think, World War II. So whatever years that would be, like 1920-ish, somewhere around there. I don't remember when. Oh wait, World War II, that was 50s, right? Yeah, that was. Oh, I'm not a historian, first off, people, but World War II. And it takes place in Germany, but it's most movies don't have like the kids that are in the military that are playing like 18-year-olds and 16-year-olds. They're a lot of the times it seems like they're more in their 20s, kind of similar to how they cast like high school students, like that Ma movie. Like they were all supposed to be high school kids, but clearly, you know, had gray hairs and filed their taxes recently. They're like way older from the age that they were supposed to be playing. But this one, they were children, and it was weird. And just kind of like this weird like, so I go in, didn't know anything about it. He's got this imaginary friend that's Hitler, and, you know, over the top kind of funny Hitler. But he's seriously Hitler. You know, they hate the Jews and all that. And they kind of depict all of the German military as like this in a very cartoonish way, which I think helps specifically because we live in a time where like that kind of ideal, the white supremacist ideal, is like it's one of the many things that's being rebooted these days, which is just kind of ridiculous that Nazis are back. So it's kind of interesting to see a movie, a comedy that, you know, the main characters are all Nazis. Like this kid wants to be the best Nazi ever for Hitler, right? And I'm going to spoil some stuff. And he lives with his mom. His dad is gone, disappeared. I forget. Like he's supposed to be fighting in the army or whatever. So it's just him and his mom. His sister died. So, you know, there's the empty sister's room. Mom played by Charlize Theron, which I'm sorry, Scarlett Johansson, way off on the actress, the other white actress. But she was kind of good. The fact that like everybody is kind of playing an almost cartoonish version of a person, was interesting. It like kept a lightness to it, despite the kind of dark subject matter. But he finds out that his mom is hiding a Jew in the walls, this Jewish girl, and the kid discovers her one day, and they form a relationship. Well, he wants to mine intel from her, you know, because he can't tell the army because they'll kill his mom, they'll kill him. But it's kind of like I had no idea that was part of this movie, and then I had no idea like they kind of form this bond. I had no idea where it was going. Once he found her, I was like, okay, what's going on now? Then they have see who's playing the that military dude, Sam Rockwell, and also Rebel Wilson's in it too. It's kind of a fun cast. Also, the kid Jojo is Roman Griffin Davis. Never seen him before, but it was great, man. Great performance from him. But yeah, so he finds this Jewish girl in the wall, and they kind of form a bond over the movie. You know, it's all very organic. It's not like they're because he wants to be. He's like wants to be the A1 student for Hitler, but during a camp session where he was learning to be this Hitler youth, he got in a little grenade accident that kind of took him out of actually going to battle at any point. So he's like relegated to doing kind of, posting up propaganda around town and things like that. So when he finds this girl, he wants to write a book. He wants to get the intel on the enemy. And it's kind of funny. It's kind of crazy the way, because they do it in such a light way, it's crazy to see how fucking insane the propaganda and just like the stories that they tell each other to hate the Jews, like they say that they're demons, they have horns, and like just all this crazy stuff to make these kids and these people hate, what the Jews hate, or no, what the Nazis hated. It was like, because we were in a time where propaganda is still going on. I mean, you turn on Fox News and you see all of the stuff that all these right-wing people regurgitate. Like, they don't have the ability to come up with an authentic idea or critically think about a situation. They literally regurgitate the shit that all of the all the Fox News stuff kind of pumps out. Go watch Out Fox, documentary about Fox News and the Bush administration, which is basically exactly what's going on now, except for turned up to ridiculousness with our stupid president. But this movie, I really enjoyed it. And it ends, there's kind of, you get to find out more about his mom, and you get to find out more about how this kid is surrounded by people that don't necessarily have the same values that he has. He wants to be the ultimate Nazi, and the people that are around him, I mean, his mom's trying to save a Jewish girl, hiding her out. And then there's a scene where you see her kind of putting, resistance propaganda around. But the end of this movie, the climax of this movie is Jojo. You got his friend, his chubby friend that's like in war. Like he didn't have the grenade accident, so he ended up going to war. And he's like a little kid. It's just like this movie found so many ways to kind of show the ridiculousness of war, of propaganda, of just the insanity of what the Nazis believed in. But it doesn't like do it in a way like it's I don't know how, like it's very palatable. It's like they sprinkled sugar on like this stuff that makes it really interesting, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, the end of this movie is kind of like, it's tough, man. It's tough. So the end of this movie takes place at the end of the war. But the way it ends and the things that end, some people are lost, some people survived. But in the end, some people, the people that you really care about end up dancing, and the dancing is a sign of freedom. And it's just a really touching movie, kind of like a movie that I would never expect, to be made, to be good. But I love it. I love going to see a movie that's not based on a reboot, some kind of big budget advertisement to sell toys. It's an actual original. I mean, it's based on a book, but it's an original movie. It's not a sequel or a reboot or anything like that. So I don't know. I loved it. Taika Waititi is just, he's done some really fun stuff, and excited to see whatever else he does, because have a very specific voice, and very new, like just like a new, fresh storyteller, which I enjoy. I enjoy it so much. So go watch Jojo Rabbit if it's in your theaters around you, or I'm sure in a couple weeks, or by the time this is out, it'll be streaming somewhere. But I really enjoyed it. Jojo Rabbit. That's it for this episode. New episodes come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my artwork over at inspireddisorder.com and save 25% when you use coupon code RTS. Follow me on social media at Ray Taylor. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out.